Welcome to VL. I'm joined by Recollect, and I'm Big. I was casting here last week, and we're following Frostbite today.
Yeah, very excited to be here. The only thing bigger than you is going to be those games that we get to witness today, and I'm definitely thinking that this is going to be an interesting series. There's a lot to look forward to. Two teams that are coming in with relatively decent streaks. One team going 2-0 last week, the other sadly only on that 1-1, but looking to turn things around here going into week number 2.
Yeah, definitely. And it'll be nice to follow Frostbite as well, because they are 1-1. So they do need to make up a little bit of ground, seeing as it's only a single round robin. Every game is really important.
Yeah, definitely. And coming up against two, I think, of arguably the better sort of potential teams here in our tournament. I think it's going to be really exciting, should we say, to see what they can bring to the table, because this is realistically the test week. The week where it all becomes a little bit more difficult, and potentially the one that decides their overall standing.
Yeah, certainly it'll be a tough first game with Ablaze in joint first in the standings at the moment. They went 2-0 last week, so
We're gonna pretend like my mic did just fail. Give me a second. Hey, quality change.
you've just come through the tunnel.
Oh, we got it. We are back in business. Don't you worry, my friend. The only thing more inconsistent than my microphone is the gameplay. But here we go. I'm looking forward to seeing what we do get to see. Looking sort of down the matchups here, there is a little bit of a, should we say, solo queue elo disparity between
Mm,
these two teams, just a little bit, which I think is going to make this a little bit more challenging, shall we say, but also a little bit more of a test of sort of team play and overall sort of synergy here.
yeah.
Coming into our game number 1, I always feel like if the team, isn't necessarily as solo queue savvy, shall we say, which obviously is the issue here potentially for the Ablaze roster. I think that you can potentially make up for that with better coordination, better calls, better usage and team play, because solo queue and coordinated 5v5s do have that communication element that makes it so much more varied and nuanced, especially when things can get hectic and maybe the calls aren't quite what they should be, or not quite as consistent, shall we say.
Yeah, definitely. I think solo queue and competitive play are completely different beasts. Like the skills you need for both of them are really, really different. It's just the fundamentals which you can carry over between them. So
Absolutely, and realistically speaking, none of us have hands anyway. That's why we're not pro players. So it makes things a little bit more entertaining, shall we say?
mm,
And I think that realistically, we're going to see a lot of um, importance being set here on this early draft, as in reality, I think that both these teams had some very strange looking priorities, should we say, in their drafts last week. Quite a few sort of unique to nuanced champions that we don't tend to see too much of. The one that jumped out at me was the Mundo, that I think that we spoke a little bit about off stream a little bit beforehand.
mm.
That was given it over, which is a champion that's become very, very strong in the current patch and is very much undervalued. So I wonder if we might potentially see that again if the angle presents itself, shall we say.
Yeah,
But there's a lot of strong stuff on this patch, and to me, I think looking for those early priority lanes so that you can set up to enable these either farm sort of centric / high damage junglers to then impact the game is going to be something to watch out for.
mm, certainly. Last week we saw Ramundo completely like take over a game. I think he was playing into the Camille matchup, which isn't even that good for him, and
Oh no,
he went even, and then like just turned into like a raid boss, and it was
yeah.
crazy. It was really good to watch. So
Yeah, dude's a monster. Dude's a monster. On the subject of monsters, we're going to be seeing a monstrous performance come out here for the two coaches, if there are coaches, here in our big ban as we do enter into the big ban phase. Now, talking a bit about this, champs that are likely going to be banned out, the Nami, the Fiora are going to be coming through almost certainly here. We do have a
yeah,
couple of one tricks who probably don't want to admit they're one tricks, but they have like only a couple of super high win rates on these champs, really high play rates. So they're basically one tricks. So I'm expecting to see those get banned away really, really quickly here within this phase. Having said that, the no ban going to come out, which I had actually forgotten a little bit about because we are going to be seeing Frostlight Mist bans here because of I forgot the reasoning. There was
Yeah, they have a sub player in at the moment. So their top laner
that's right.
is Coggles instead of I'm not sure
Hmm.
who the main player is, but they lose their first 3 bans because they're
See,
playing on the sub.
and that's obviously going to have very big ramifications because it does mean that those two champs that we were mentioning, the Fiora and the Nami, are both going to be unable to go through because obviously there is no bans to come back in response. So
Yeah.
definitely going to cost.
Especially because they're red side.
Hmm.
Uh, it means that there's just the Frostbite can leave or Ablaze, sorry, can leave anything open they want and then just pick it. So
Yeah. On top of that, you have to remember that there's that if someone did want to go for the Mundo, like we mentioned, the Fiora matchup is also one that I think is pretty okay into these tanks. Always has that percentage max health damage, kind of shreds them with the passive that could potentially come through. Also, it does enable the option for Nami first pick here, which enables you to go down the route of things like Lucian Nami, or potentially if that doesn't come through, you can pivot into the Zeri. So there are options available to you then if you do decide to go down that route. So it's honestly kind of painful to have to deal with, but it's something that is obviously gonna have to be managed. There's not much that can be done about it.
hmm. So okay. Oh, they're skipping another ban. Sorry,
Yep.
I thought they were supposed to be picking the.
You're okay.
I
You're
was
okay.
I was on the edge of my seat. I thought they were about to get a random champion.
No, if that was the case, I think the blue side must have already picked my dad because I was not seeing that. But anyway, no. So going into sort of first pick general priority, as I said before, I'm thinking Nami. There are other options available to you to potentially go down if you want to route that way. Maokai is the choice. Now, this is something that has been really popping up a lot in pro play. It's also something that's being spammed out in solo queue by Panu. Oh my god, Penumbral Pumpkin. Jeez, that's a great name. That's fantastic. 72% win rate on that one, 39 games played, so a decent sample size. Not amazing, but noticeably there. And that first pick is also going to be one of the more contested champions available in the draft.
Yeah, I really like the Malco first pick. It's so flexible because you can flex it wherever you want. It's really easy to play. You have so much vision control with the saplings. It's pretty hard to mess up. The ultimate's really clear cut engage, so it's very easy to coordinate with it. And then Silas as a response is, I think it's pretty standard because you can pick Silas into anything you want, and then with the Malco already secured, it's never going to be that bad.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's also just super consistent. And the I think the most undervalued part about this Maokai is the versatility. Having said that, the Nami that we mentioned earlier has been picked away, so that's now going to be secured onto the red side. And it now means there is potentially that little bit of issue with pick options available. Interesting to see Nico come through here. I actually think that Nico Silas isn't that amazing for the Nico side. It's very much one of those where you've already given one of the best ultis in the game to Silas in the Maokai ulti, on the current patch at least. So it makes that 1v1 very difficult to pilot if he ever does deal access to that and then go in his mid lane matchup. So interesting to see that. Maybe it's a pivot to the Nico support, which we did see a long time ago, or potentially the Nico top lane. I expect it to just be mid lane, as you'd expect. And instead we see the Ashe come through here. Again, another flex. So there are options available, shall we say, for the blue side.
Yeah, and I expect that Lucian's just going to be quickly picked up here, and because they have bans on the next round, there's no reason not to pick Lucian here. Although, I guess, I'm not sure what else you want to pair with Nami here, because Lucian is certainly going to get banned. You could maybe play Caitlyn with it. It doesn't sound that strong, but
I feel like what you're looking towards here is anything that is either really strong in the lane, like you say, the Lucian, which is going to get banned away. I did think Zeri earlier was something that you have seen, which was because some people were trading the idea being, oh, you took Lucian, so we're going to get Lucian Lulu, and you're going to get Zeri Nami, and then that's fine. The other route I thought you can go towards here is Varus, which is very good. because if you go the lethality route, you're going to get extra damage from the E. You're going to be able to get a very high amount of poke sustain based on matchup. Having said that, though, you have to consider the fact that Ashe can be pivoted into AD carry, and then you get some support matchups that can potentially make that a little bit more frustrating. So
Hmm.
there are options available here for the sort of red side of the rift, but it's definitely a little bit more challenging, shall we say, if you do want to go down that kind of school of thought.
Yeah, and because every champ that the Blades have here, they can put it in any role they want. Like nothing's
Mhm.
actually because they can play Ashen support, they can play Malco top if they wanted to. Nico could go, I don't know, AD carry if they really wanted to flex. But it's hard. Maybe it's hard to draft against. Maybe because the two bans they went for were support bans.
Mm.
I'm scared about the bot lane matchup. Sure. Okay.
The
So
issue is, before that Caitlyn pick, I was going to say I think red side is actually ahead, because what you can do here on red side is you can go the Varus, like I mentioned earlier, or you can pivot towards. There's a couple other options. To be honest with you, there's quite a bit you can do. Ezreal is also super good here on red side. But if you do these things, you can then save last pick, potentially look at that Fiora, and you have triple melee topside with Sejuani, which is disgustingly strong in terms of the 3v3 or 2v2 dueling options,
hmm.
which is something that I think hasn't been considered properly here, because now you have currently got yourself the pivot, as we mentioned earlier, where Galio now can go into mid, Nico can start into support, or vice versa, depending on matchup. I think it'd be probably the Nico support because of the fact that melee into Nami just sounds very painful. Yeah, and now you get Olaf. Okay. So Hodgson has been playing this a lot,
Yeah,
to varying degrees of success. I might
pretty much his only champion in
say,
solo queue.
yeah, definitely. It's something that has been noticeable that's come through. Yeah, okay. So this is really interesting now, because whilst you do have Olaf to provide a lot of physical, there's a ton of value on Merc Treads this game for blue side, because you've got Galio, Nico, you've got the playing.
Comp 2 broken. I mean, good observation. I can't lie.
I mean, yeah, it's just a
I
bit.
kind of agree with him.
It's just a bit OP. Can we
Yeah.
ban something? No, I don't want to wait 30 seconds. But why don't? Oh, we have to do it on tournament draft, don't we?
Yeah, because they stayed
Ah,
for
I was gonna say just make a fresh lobby, go into regular draft pick, and or not regular, just blind pick and spam through it. But we have to do tournament for the tournament realm stuff. All the admin that we all love. So that's fine. What we shall do, I guess, is just sort of talk a bit about the comps. Did they do the full comps? Or is everyone happy with
Yeah, it was
those?
a Shen last pick.
It was Shen last pick. Okay. So there are positives and negatives to Shen here. Obviously, positively, you can immune some of the Olaf damage. You will still get Giga rundown at level 1 if you're not careful. Like, if one undertow lands, you just die.
Hmm.
If you are ever trying to contest the push. So Shen never gets to contest this push at any point. You also get Turbo outlaned in the side lane as the game goes on. But
Yeah.
what you get in exchange for that is you do get that cross map presence, right? You get that ability to impact this bot side. So this game now becomes a bit of a situation of, can we pressure your bottom side enough that this Olaf pick isn't going to hurt us? Or is Olaf going to eventually become too much of a problem?
Yeah, I think Shen's a nice answer because it's pretty easy to neutralize the Olaf. Even if you do have to sit under tower, it's not like Olaf is gonna get fed if you're under tower. So I think it's good. And then also because like with the double range bot lane, they're both going to be fighting so much for the push. There's going to be skirmishing in the bot lane. There has to be. Otherwise, both of them are just like AFKing, and they shouldn't be doing that. So I think it's a smart pick. It makes a lot of sense. It kind of shows to me that they know exactly what their comp does, and that's really good.
I think that there's a lot of outs potentially here for the red side if they play it properly. I like the fact that we are seeing teams try to do things with flexibility. The issue to me here is that I don't think Galio is actually that amazing into Silas here for blue side.
Yeah, I
Um,
think this Galio pick is it doesn't make any sense at all because you get
no,
a bad matchup. You give Silas a good ult.
yeah.
It doesn't really bring anything to the draft.
You also have this issue of what I'm going to call inconsistency in terms of the uh, heroic entrance.
Hmm.
Because yes, you can ult onto the Olaf when he runs in, but aside from this, it's kind of hard to give yourself consistency in terms of that ult engage. I guess you could do the same to Maokai after he lands a W, but you're very reliant here on Ash landing good arrows or finding good flanks. But to get flanks, you kind of need vision first. So you're skipping a step there. You need to work out how you're going to get the vision, and that's where the problems start to line up here. Because whilst there is a timer in this game where blue side will eventually become very problematic because Olaf just runs through people, you don't actually have an enabler. There is no Lulu, there's no Zillion, there is no Karma. There's nothing to, or no Oriana, nothing to give this guy shields, movement speed, or anything to make him more deadly in team fights. So Olaf in team fights is actually really struggle.
Hmm.
Very much going to be fully reliant on split pushing. Whereas if you look at the red side, you have a hard winning 2v2 within this Sejuani Silas because of the value of things like the early sort of damage spikes in comparison. Silas also gets insanely good ultis here to take away. You then have the opportunity to pivot that down towards the bottom side of the lane, of the rift, sorry. Suddenly, then you get your 4v4 on the bottom side, which I think red side wins. Then you have Shadow as well. There is a path to success here, but it's all about being proactive, having the ability to use your tools properly. Because if you can't, as I said, the Olaf will start to come online. You're going to have arrows flying, people are going to be dying, and it's going to be real rough.
Hmm. So, which draft do you prefer then? What odds would you give to each side here?
Um, so I think if we're talking odds in general, before the draft, given sort of individual player strength, shall we say, I probably would have given it. I mean, I'd say that you have much higher odds for the side of Frostbite. I think it's
Hmm.
hard to say against that, given the individual player strength. Um, I think that what they've done is very interesting, but I worry that the execution required is going to be a little bit too much for them. So I actually think that blue side is I like scaling when you're in these team games, but I think stylistically speaking, this Olaf becomes way too much of a problem
Okay.
for this red side because after about 25 minutes into the game, I don't know how you stop him with the champions that drafted on red side, especially when um, you're playing fully to get this bottom side into a state where Olaf doesn't matter. Um, so for me, I actually think that the blue side likely wins this game, purely
Okay.
because I've seen way too many teams in this healer range not know how to execute on those early game compositions without making mistakes.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. That's a good point because I think I would lean slightly towards the other side, but
Mhm,
because it is so dependent on execution,
mhm.
uh, then I can see a point for sure.
I definitely think that in pro play, I would rather play red side because I would trust the ability to set up waves, the ability to enable the mechanics, shall we say, um, the priorities and the thoughts. But lots of little mistakes happen, right? And for that reason, it worries me when I see teams that, whilst they have a clear cut win condition, they are very much required to execute it well and effectively. Whereas if you make a mistake, you can just go, "Oh, I'll just wait a couple more minutes, it'll be fine. Don't worry, guys. I get 3 items, we win the game." Smile. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
everyone's had that solo queue teammate where they're like 0-5 in lane. They're like, "Don't worry, guys, I'm scaling," and then somehow, by some miracle, No, the game's over.
Yeah.
You know, we always have that one layer, and then sometimes it happens. Like it's very rare, but it actually do just scale, and it's like okay, we actually just won the game because nothing happened. So
Interesting to look at masteries here. I think
yeah,
that actually kind of reveals why they went for the Galio pick,
mhm.
because it's a lot of Galio points there.
He's a Galio gamer.
And he's got my favorite skin,
Ah,
Galio skin.
I see. So you're biased. I see. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, I'm massively biased
we're
towards
gonna have to
Fortnite.
improv this cast. I get to cast one team. You get to cast the other.
Yeah, and we both have to do it as biased as possible.
Jesus, perfect. No, I definitely think this is going to be a tough matchup, especially when you consider that stylistic diversity in terms of where these guys are going to be on the map. It also means that the early pathing here for the junglers is going to be super impactful.
Yep.
I feel as though this is one of those games where if Olaf Shen is left in isolation, then Blue side is pretty happy. But if you do that at the same time, the other team is wanting to play through red side, so you kind of have no choice but to try and utilize early prio to get that early ward, and that's something that I think is definitely going to be contested heavily, specifically the mid lane prio. Galio Silas is one that can be very flippy depending on item spikes, so it's definitely going to be interesting. I think Galio does get the prio a little bit better earlier.
And he's also running the aftershock, so instead of the spellbook, his laning is a little bit stronger. It also makes his 2v2 better. He's really tanky if he's engaging. So
Yeah, but that's the key, is that you have to be the ones engaging when you run aftershock. Because obviously, if you're not, you don't get to proc it, and then you just don't have a rune for the fight. So it's kind of like you can still get one shot.
yeah.
Having said that, there is decent value for certain items. Can we just quickly talk about how it's very off topic, I know, and I apologize for that. But can I just quickly say how depressing it is when you play a mid lane mage and the other team has a Caitlyn? Because you just can't buy Zhonya's. You know, like you want to build Zhonya's against something like that champion, or against like AD champs, because you're like, oh, armor, or I dodge spells. Whereas Caitlyn just sticks a cupcake under your feet, you slip on it, and you break your neck. So it's like, it's just a bit sad, really. And I just it's just unfortunate. Anyway.
Okay, I can tell who plays mid lane mages now.
Yeah, I'm an AD carry main, by the way.
All right.
Standard 5 point, nothing crazy happening here. Pretty much what you'd expect. So,
Yeah,
how are you doing today, sir? How's your day been going?
pretty normal day. I had uni lectures in the morning and then spend the rest of the day getting ready for the cast. So
Hey, hell yeah, the good stuff, the good stuff.
yeah, look forward to my Mondays.
Yeah, shout out VL. You've made one man very happy.
Yeah.
You're doing good. Smile. That definitely wasn't stalling because nothing happens at level 1. So this is really interesting. I actually thought that Maokai would try and I feel like there's an angle here to leash bot, and then you do a reverse clear. So I mean, you do red buff start, go straight to your blue buff, and then clear down. The idea with that is that Olaf can sit in the tri-bush here at level 1, and if the other team does make the mistake of leashing, which Zejwali probably wants to do, because of the fact that she's a melee champ, she's with a melee champ, sorry, which means that she gets faster clear. Oh, this is the level 1 I was talking about. Is he not training this?
He didn't see the
man. Okay, just FF, red side wins.
Okay.
This is yep, I'm gonna stay quiet. I will leave it to
you. Well, I mean, maybe he knows something we don't. Maybe he's like respecting a level 2 Sejuani game. He doesn't have a ward. He doesn't have to leash. So. He might have his reasons. We can see him pop off later.
Yeah, this is true. The thing is that in this matchup, Olaf can just run the Shen down at any point.
Oh, is he? Oh,
nope. He doesn't realize. Literally, so this is the crazy thing. You just pop Ghost and you run at him, and he has to flash, and then Ghost is a shorter cooldown of Flash. So when you are level, sort of 5, level 6, you will have Ghost up. He will not have Flash, and you just kill him then. So that's the idea here. But it's just just need that go button, that little bit less apprehension. But the bot side,
Oh, that route was so close.
yeah, that
Nami
would have been
just sneaks
really
that down.
terrible. That could have been comboed into that flash Maokai W there with the knockback, and then suddenly you got problems. On the subject of problems, though, look at this.
Doesn't get the first strike pop though. He did smite away the blue buff, so he's going to be happy with that. The bot lane's rotating over, but there's an all-in in top lane, so Johnny's taunted in. But commit.
Oh,
It looks like Nico's getting burst down though. She has to burn the flash early. Silas has a flank. Can he get onto Maokai? He can probably. 2 quick kills over there for Frostbite. Yeah.
yeah, easy stuff there to come through from Frostbite. They find themselves the crowd control they need. They get a nice little turnaround, and it's just a bit over aggressive. If you're going to go for this play, you need to have that sort of priority in the mid lane. You need to have your AD carry kill as well, because suddenly it's 3 versus 2, Taunt in the mid lane now, just to make that trade a little bit nicer here for Midnight. But yeah, the 3v2 becomes a 4v2.
This looks like a solo kill maybe. Is he going to ghost? No, I think he was 10 cap tower.
So there is an opportunity here just to tower dive and trade. You can't live because you have Ghost, but there is an angle for it. Hodgson not going to go for it this time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Jen has W. If he has W there, I didn't even do it. So.
I think it was used in the trade earlier, just a second ago. It's a pretty long cooldown at early levels. I think it's like 10 seconds.
To 24. Oh,
Is it
Jen.
It's 24 seconds.
Yeah, I know too.
Yeah, he didn't have it then. It was definitely a cooldown.
Yeah.
Color caster, by the way. It was 10 seconds. Yeah, no, that would be a little bit unbalanced, to be fair.
Could you imagine? It's like Jack.
Honestly.
It's even better than Jack. Jack's
I mean, imagine if Jax had a real weapon though. Then he would have like low cooldown spell.
Oh, Genki mid lane.
Oh, Midnight
Has
lives
to
that
burn the
though.
flash early. He does get a taunt here.
Oh!
Re-engages it. Oh, but did you see that buff it's done? That was nice.
So Midnight actually could have solo killed there, I'm not gonna lie to you. Hodgson, he's realised! He's worked it out! He didn't grab his axe though!
He forgot the axe.
Hodgson!
But he does have the wave pushing into him, so he's going to force Corbins to recall and TP back here.
So yeah, so what I was going to say is that Midnight actually had the taunt on the tower there. So if you do a reverse E on the Galio, where you dash towards the tower, it will come out slightly faster, because the distance traveled to actually hit the knockup is a lot shorter. So what could have happened there is Midnight taunts the Sejuani like they did, you turn around then and E. They're still CC'd under tower. It's probably not a kill, but it is going to be a forced flash. There's no way to avoid this unless you do flash away from the damage after the CC, because it's a perfect CC chain between Galio W, Galio E. Having said that, didn't do that in the end, so I'd say that's a minor misplay coming through there from Midnight. And this is kind of the stuff we were expecting to see, right? It's people in not quite being, that challenger range, High Masters, Grandmaster. It means that people don't necessarily fully know their matchups and don't always see the angles that their champions have available to them. And I think that's kind of now the discussion that we're going to have to see, especially given the fact that there's a little bit of a gold lead starting to develop here for the red side of the rift. They're starting to put their foot on the gas, and most of that is going to be inside of that mid lane. Having said that, though, Sejuani could be a bit caught out on the wrong side of the rift.
Oh, just sneaks away on the blast cone there. Galio was so close to cancelling that. You can see them trying to squeeze the bubble. No trap there.
Ramco was just greeting for the headshot, I'm not going to lie. Hit the net and was like, oh, I want to auto this. Walked into 3 people. I respect it, though. You got to respect it. Okay.
Do you see how tanky Galio is? Yeah, he just stands there and tanks it with Aftershock and the blade plating as well. He took like 0 damage.
Man, used the entire rotation on the wave, still won the trade.
Yeah.
W auto is enough.
Yeah. Well, Sejuani's flanked back around here in the bot lane. I think they cleared out the ward. No, they didn't clear out the ward, but they know there is a ward, so she's queued over the wall. And she's snuck in behind this bot lane without them noticing. I'm not sure if they can dive though, because it is Nico and they have both full HP.
Yeah, it's also a level 5 Sejuani, so they're going to have access to the Glacial Prism here. And also Ramco just takes a ton of damage.
Yeah, Ignite dropped there just to get a better trade. I think they know they're getting dived, so they're trying to dissuade it as much as they can.
Yeah, I don't think this is possible though. I think if you flash away from the Sejuani Q, it's just really unplayable. So
yeah, and Galio hovering there. With
exactly. The Galio could hover with ulti. This is really good for blue side though.
Maybe it depends if Maokai gets in range or not. He's clicking away to get to Galio. So tanky. He just keeps walking away. What's this?
Yeah, so the tankiness of Gallia that made me think it was going to be good. I also thought there was an opportunity there for a retro moment to flash over the wall and go aggressive. Um, the idea there is that you sort of force double flash. Yes, the Nami is rotating, but you then have your bot lane come up because Ashe is or was approaching level 6 if she wasn't already, which obviously flips the trade pretty hard. Especially if that arrow hits literally anyone, it just becomes a temporary sort of 2v1. Oh,
Okay, burning the cleanse there.
yeah, it's
It
really
happens
good
a lot
though.
in these lanes, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's gonna have like about 100 seconds where she can look for another kill. Feel.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing though, is that you tend to see that be the difference between good and great players. Is one is able to hit the spells to force the summoner, the other is able to punish that afterwards. So actually come back and set up a play to guarantee that you can, get a kill. That means you freeze that wave, you set it up so that you can fire the arrow, bring your jungler if you have to, just to support you, even if you don't need them for the kill, just to make sure that it's not a 3v2 in the other team's favor. And then you're able to, get yourself a kill, get yourself some plates, potentially a dragon off of it, and that's how you start to build leads and advantages. So we now need to see if that is punish is going to come into play.
Yeah, and also because of that, they got to push in the wave really quickly, forcing Caitlyn away. So with that priority, they've now rotated Galio into bot, and they're just going to pick up a free Herald. So nice awareness on that.
Yep. And what will happen here is Galio should push the next wave bot lane. Ashe will then walk mid, push this wave, and then Galio can recall, walk mid, and doesn't miss anything. So that should be the rotation we see come through here. Presently, I don't expect them to remain in mid lane purely because of the fact that mid lane is an extremely short lane, and the problem with that is that Ashe basically cannot get super great value from arrow. Oh,
Looking
top
for a
lane.
play here on Shen. The root lands. It's a long CC chain, but he's tanking a lot with the W there. Sejuani's here for the counter gank. Olaf has so much time on the ultimate though, stacking it up with each auto attack. Flash over, instant flash from Maokai. 1 HP on Shen. Needs one auto, does get it. Does he have a knockback for Sejuani? He doesn't. Nico just misses on the root there. And it's a 1 kill trade.
Yep, freebie coming through there. Olaf finally having the confidence to just run the Shen down in the matchup.
Yeah. Just
Does
needed
end up
Maokai to hold his hand there.
Thank you, Mr. Maokai. I love you long time. Yeah, so the kill does come through, as you say. Also a bit disrespectful here. Not aware of the fact that the bot lane could potentially move. Obviously, this has meant that the plate money is going over to red side, and given the fact they didn't have any plates at all, they've actually gained themselves about sort of over 300 gold from that one alone, given the fact that also they got the wave too. They've actually, I think, came out weirdly gold ahead off of that, so it's actually not too bad.
I think they'd managed to bully Ashe off the wave at the same time. So while they got those 2 plates, they also grew like 14 CS lead there.
Yeah, well, the Ashe went topside, right? To make that play.
Oh yeah,
4v2 in topside, so they ended up losing quite a decent amount of CS as well as plate money. And it also means that
Dragon's
they're now
going really
late for
low.
this. Yeah.
The bubble is going to miss. That was a nice dash from Galio. There's a lot of tanking with the Stand United there from Shen. Ashe is isolated on her own. She has to flash out. Shen doesn't have a taunt up, so he can't kill her. Here comes the Galio ult, dissuading the push from red side. Caitlyn does have the lethal tempo stacked up though. Engage from Sejuani, a good cleanse, but she gets taken out anyway. Ooh. Health bar's ticking so low. Caitlyn gets taken out there. Can Shen hit the blast code? He can. And he manages to block the Maokai up there as well, so Nami's going to walk away as well.
So it's a 2-1 overall. This actually looked really good for red side initially. Obviously, because they did have that bot lane priority. Having said that, a couple of things turned that around. A great taunt coming through there from Midnight in the end. Quite a bit of damage being dealt as well. And just overall, having that survivability, that ability to stall out the fight. It looked good, especially when that arrow came through from Alphonse, but it wasn't quite enough to pick up any major ground for the rest of the team. So it ends up turning around a little bit, and now suddenly the gold advantage has flipped their opposition.
And you were talking about this earlier in draft about how Olaf might be able to take over this game, and we can see now as he's based with the Stride Breaker, he's going to be really, really strong, and maybe he can start split pushing, like you said before.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. We will need to see whether or not that does actually come to fruition. I think there's been a a few misplays, shall we say, that have been cropping up in these lanes. So whether or not we do see that split push come through, or whether Olaf instead elects to just run it down, shall we say, with the rest of the boys, is going to be potentially a little bit different to what we're expecting, but we will see.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
yeah, it's either gonna be him running it down or him running them down, so
True. My man's gonna Usain Bolt into those DMs. It's gonna be crazy. He's got world record pace.
Mm,
But anyway, Hodgson having a good time in that top lane, up over 30 CS right now. Um, Honestly, just one of those cases of just having that little bit of advantage and able to sort of accrue a bigger lead. Now up 2 levels too. It's definitely that point where Olaf is the dam's about to burst. You know, he is very ahead of that curve. Shen can't really keep up. The biggest issue that Shen has versus Olaf is that the undertow cooldown is just too low for Shen to actually do anything about in isolation. So even if he can block the autos, he can't do anything about that Q spam because it's on like a 4-second cooldown or something. It's ridiculous
mm.
um, in those early levels, and obviously gets lower as you get haste. So going to be more and more of a problem as that game starts to snowball, and combine that with us all having these berserkers. And sorry, Nico. Like, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Nico rework. That's gonna be, or the sort of BGU, the little change they're doing.
Oh, I think he's okay, gank in mid lane though.
Yeah.
Instant proc from Aftershock. I think he's just gonna walk out of this one.
Yeah.
DC chain is landing, but he can't do that much.
Yeah. You have to engage by hitting that permafrost immediately. It's just a little bit inefficient from the mid jungle here. Not quite able to set up that effectively enough. Realistically, you need a perfect CC chain on a Gallia with no aftershock. So in this scenario, what you want to do is you want to have
That
good
Assault really
dodge.
not hit. I
Yeah,
almost thought it was on the enemy team there, but
yeah, Ash Arrow has a really weird hitbox. It's kind of strange on champions that are dashing. I think I still have like flip. The same thing happening. I'll show you later. But it's kind of crazy. This is 3v2, by the way.
I think Maokai is the one getting caught here. He was confident going in, but he's instantly bursted down by the Caitlyn.
Yeah, the issue is Ash is catching the wave, so that's a 3v2. You just can't really be going for this. I don't really understand it, but yeah, just get CC change from start to finish and locked up and locked down. That was pretty easy stuff. Now, Nico?
He's checking the bush. He has the top blossom to save her. She doesn't do any damage. Oh, she flashed into the bubble. No! Oh.
Oh
tripped
my
over
god.
and
I guess,
landed in
never mind, we're just Challenger. We're just the best players in the world. Oh my god.
And then
Jesus.
Nico, sorry, Sejuani did have the ultimate there and didn't want to use it on Nash. I'm not sure. Even if she does have cleanse up, it's a fine trade.
Yeah, I think it would have been a good trade. I think that you can throw and let go, and it's pretty winning. I think the thought there was that maybe they could get the permafrost off, then get the CC from that, and then you Glacial Prism afterwards to get a longer CC chain. The issue with that logic is that you still have the ability for Nami just to walk up and bubble, or Caitlyn to walk up and trap, so you don't really need to go for it. But I can understand why you do it. You also get more damage that way. So
Yeah.
it's understandable, but I definitely agree with your point, and I would say that you don't necessarily need to do that in that particular scenario.
Yeah. Well, the good news for players here is that they do get to cross match, so they are picking up a Rift Herald for them, albeit a second Rift Herald with no plates up, so not as valuable. But
Shout out spectator client that never actually shows Rift Herald being taken. Ooh, the chain's missed. That's really awkward.
I think he's going to get run down here. Here comes the Stan United though. He's trying to turn it around. Good dash in. He dashes past the Pot Blossom onto Ash, takes her out with the chain lash there, and there's Caitlyn to collapse as well.
Yeah,
Picking out the correct Nico clean.
Yeah, just with some freebies there. This is something that actually a lot of teams do, which isn't necessarily good, and that's the idea of trying to make too many plays. So in this situation, you already have the advantage you're accruing in topside, right? Because as you say, that Herald is going down. You have 3 people topside that have taken that Herald, so your strong side is topside right now, if you are on the blue side. which means that if you're bot side, you need to be defensive. You need to be safe, because if you are going to do something up in top, you have to assume that the other team can make a counterplay, and this is exactly what goes wrong here. You know, that Stand United comes through, suddenly you've got 2 people, Caitlyn arrives, suddenly you've got 3 people, and it's just numbers disadvantage. There's a little bit too much strength in the actual numbers, because remember, 2 solo laners are going to be worth more than a bot lane, unless that bot lane is giga-fed, which is not the case in this game. So, one of those where a little bit greedy, perhaps, the comms not quite what they needed to be in that situation, and a nice punish.
Yeah, it's certainly a hard play to read. Like, it's so easy to forget about the Stand United. So.
Yeah, always. Every game. I forget that Shen actually exists. So I do the same thing with like GP. You know, where it's like, oh, I'm fighting, and there's a GP out on my face. What do I do?
Yeah.
Always the globals.
Mm.
My favorite example of that is Karthus, though. You know, where you win a trade, you're on 1 HP, you're like, yes, we're just better, and then you see the death laser and you go, hello,
someone shield
my
me.
old friend.
Yeah. Oh, 2 ults going in mid lane. They managed to tank both twisting.
They got the Navi.
Got out, and okay. Nice.
It's worth.
Yeah,
So,
but Caitlyn's cleanse there as well.
Yeah, true. And that's actually a really important cooldown. It's good that you mentioned that. Having said that, we are starting to reach that point in the game now where teams are going to be team fighting, and it's going to be much harder, because you can usually have the Sejuani just frontline tank it. Just absorb that cooldown for their Caitlyn. Having said that, it's definitely now a window of opportunity for exploitation. So we'll need to wait on that one, see if we do get that proper arrow. And given the fact that these cooldowns are, starting to become more and more relevant, I think it's time for us to look a bit at the itemization, right? Look at the item spikes, because everyone's starting to hit those 1 item, 1.5 item spike moments, and this is really where, if you're red side, you want to be online. Once Caitlyn gets that IE, she's going to hit really hard whenever she hits a crit with a headshot sort of trap. So that's going to be really impactful. Silas is building up that rower. That's going to be stacking up very nicely for him. Going to obviously get that extra level in a minute or two. Sejuani also does have that Radiant Virtue, going to be very tanky as well. So this red side, it's starting to come online. Having said that, though, it's not like the game is going to automatically become easy because of that, because Hodgson is going to be basing now very strong in his own right, and everyone in this game pretty much on those 1 item spikes. So it's very much a case of, whilst red side definitely I think has a better 2 item spike, they're not quite there yet, and as soon as they are, that's when I expect things to get hectic.
But here comes the Enchanted Crystal Arrows landing on Nami. The Twisting Nether lands on Nami as well. There's a full combo landing there. Can they burst her out though? She just flashes and gets hit by the Galio ult. Shen's taunting in, trying to trade something back. Caitlyn's got free reign in this fight though, but she doesn't quite have the damage, only sitting on the Gale Force. And that's going to be a clean pick from the Blaze there.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations where I actually don't necessarily think the Gale Force was the best choice to build this game, because you're going to have so much of an issue shredding through this front line. This Maokai now can get god tier value by just going full tank. Olaf is going to become a monster when he gets his Death Stance online. And this Galio, as previously mentioned, can build some tanky stuff himself. So I think it's going to be really interesting now to see how easily the red side is able to actually kill this front line, because there might just be a too much of a difference in expected kill time now for them to sort of come back into this one in team fights.
Yeah, no, I agree. She does have the IE now, so she can like one combo people in CC chains, but yeah, she only gets one of those.
Yeah, I think also it creates a weird dynamic where, yes, you can Gale Force the arrow, but I don't think you get much value from anything else, because realistically, to Gale Force forward in these team fights, it requires you to be in range of hitting Ashe, but they have a Maokai, an Olaf, and a Galio. If you're ever able to hit Ashe, I think that Ashe is trolling pretty hard. I feel like it should be turbo illegal for a Caitlyn to Gale Force forward into these champs and not just get insta-gibbed. Or to even be close enough to Gale Force forwards in the first place. So, meanwhile,
quickly,
top lane, right? Yep.
Olaf is on that next.
Oh yeah.
Tower, so.
Oh yeah.
There is a kind of a fight. They're both trying to engage on each other. It looks like Red's got the upper hand here. They are going to take out Nico quickly before she even gets the
Valanth
pop blossom
TP.
off.
He's gonna kill them all. Oh wait, no, he's
They're
not.
flanking Ash. Can't you do anything? Nope, she's getting one pop.
It's the Gale Force forward. He got it.
Oh, you were just saying earlier how
God
about
damn.
troll if she could hit Ash, but
It's so crazy.
Ash was indeed trolling, trying to get her flank up there. That was ambitious.
VL stuff. I didn't say it. I have not badmouthed any of the players. I promise. I've only. I'm a good. I'm wholesome. You know. I'm wholesome. we're not toxic here. This is purely factual teachings. Is what we will call it. But yeah, this is one of those interesting situations where I actually think the blue side could potentially look to play a very slow poke kind of fight. And by that I mean your goal around this dragon is not actually to fight for the dragon, it's to really annoy the red side enough that they are just not able to do it. And the point of that is, if you create a stalling situation, you have your Olaf into Shen on the top side, and we all know how that's going at this point. You know, he's got that Blade of the Roan King. He's very, very strong, just sort of runs the Shen down at this point. So you can kind of just be in a situation where Olaf ignores the Shen, because he has Ragnarok, right? Just pops that with minions under the tower and just takes the tower in his face. Oh, she's dead, so let's just ignore that. So anyway, yeah, so you can just sort of pop the Ragnarok and just hit the top tower, right? So all you need to do is buy time. It's one of those scenarios where, to me, I think that would have been a better way to play this situation. Instead, they go for the fight, they end up kind of losing that one, and now suddenly there's a soul win condition on the table.
Well, good cleanse there from Ash. She's going to walk away from the follow-up, but unfortunately, Nico's going to tank it in return.
Yeah, these fishes be tripping. That's unfortunate for for the Nico. Ends up falling, and Silas can't do this, by the way.
Is this a fight he wants?
No, he does.
But he does have to stand united.
No, he loses. He would still lose if the Olaf kept fighting.
Oh, he's actually getting out of this one with the ghost. There's no glacial prism either, but he doesn't know that. Okay,
No.
he gets out.
Yep, he's alright. The funny thing is, I actually think because Hodgson had Ragnarok, he could maybe have turned that kill Silas anyway. Because there's no stopwatch or anything available. Olaf at this point in the game just wins both side lane matchups. There's nothing you can do from here on out. The best thing Shen can do is maybe build Frozen Heart, but the problem with that is that you don't get a lot of value against too many of the other members. You get some against Ash, but everyone else is magic damage mostly, and not necessarily auto attack based, so it's kind of awkward to build. You could make an argument to just go into early Bramble to cut the healing, but that doesn't actually do enough, unfortunately, either. So that is something that we do need to see, though, as people pick up healing cut. Did that sapling just go to the moon?
I missed that one. I think that might have been Scry's Beam that you saw.
Yeah,
there.
possibly. I think my eyes might have just been playing tricks on me there. I was sort of scratching my head at the same time, so I missed that.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. But yeah, no, I think that creates a bit of an awkward situation here for itemization. So Shwani is probably going to go into some more armor just to help with that, but I don't expect to see much.
Yeah, they've got the Oblivion Orb on Nami, which is a little bit, and I mean with the tiny rework it got, it is 40% instead of the 25. But
that's true.
It
helps a little bit, right?
It's hard to put it on Olaf because he's in the side lane. So
yeah, exactly. That's kind of why I'm saying that you got to go Bramble for the Shen. But then the problem with going Bramble here is you're nice cleanse. That was actually
that was really fast. Yeah,
that was clean. I you know we can call it out when it's good. That was nice. I respect that. But yeah, that's kind of the issue as well, is that if you go into your Bramble gold, your 800 gold for Bramble, you kind of have that situation of, I've just used 800 gold on this and it doesn't change anything for me.
I think they just got baited there by the...
Look at the damage! He's killing him! And ironically took more damage from tower than dealt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Silas is so keen to get a fight there. He's dashing forward and every time he sees someone.
Yeah, I think it's crazy too, because you know the whole team is bot side because of what just happened in bot lane. You know, at least Ash is there, so its numbers down, but goes for it anyway. I respect it. This is all about that sort of soul. They want to deny this soul win condition, because if you can do that, I think the game. So you should never say this as a caster, but I think if blue side gets this dragon, the game kind of ends purely because of the fact that in 5 minutes time from now, I don't think anyone is able to stop the Olaf anymore. So it's all about this dragon now to deny that condition. Because if you get Soul, maybe there's some Hopium you can argue.
Mm.
I think you're looking at a real limited supply. In fact, it's running out like natural gases. It's real tough. But
Yeah.
maybe there's enough hopium for one more game, if you can get yourself that dragon. However, with blue
They
side having so much vision control, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, because especially with the Maokai, if he gets to set up his saplings, he is
Yeah,
like he just
disgusting.
owns the river. So
Yeah, because the thing is that what people undervalue about saplings is you can actually dodge saplings. By the way, there is a leash range that if you walk up to it, walk away, you can avoid it, right?
oh, but they've
Uh,
done the same play. Look here, bot. Olaf's got another flank, and this time Shen doesn't have a flash. So
yeah,
he's just gonna go down eventually.
Ash does no damage.
Oh, but they didn't know about the Baron.
They don't know.
That's what they forgot about their setup.
They
The
don't
one
know.
thing
Kick
they
W.
forgot. Does he know? No,
He
he doesn't.
doesn't. Yeah, I mean, maybe this is an option then, but the issue is that you don't have your like that much damage. It's very very slow. On top of that, the dragon does go over to the blue side, which I think is kind of more important in this situation. It's nice that you get yourself that constellation baron, but look at the tempo difference. Look at bot lane. Already we're seeing the tower start to fall, so the inhib is now exposed, which is terrifying this sideline.
Oh, he's
Yes,
stolen
you
away
can.
the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. He landed onto Olaf there, but
Yeah, he has Ragnarok, so he can leave at any point. It's kind of hard to play.
Nico's overstepping here though. She has to flash away from the tsunami.
They're
They still
kind of
want this
stalling.
fight.
Yeah, they're
Wait,
just
she's gonna land
stalling.
onto
'Cause-
Olaf. Here's the Ragnarok though, as you were saying. Pop Blossom lands onto 2, but she's getting bursted down instantly. Olaf didn't get to live very long there either. So.
Yeah, he's got full damage, so there's no actual defensive items yet. The Death Dance will come through soon, and once that's online, it becomes very scary. But until then, not going to be that tanky. I'm not going to lie, I think that was really weird, the way this situation was played out. I think you could have kind of walked away, and it would have been fine. I think blue side was kind of baiting for a fight that they didn't know that they couldn't take.
Yeah.
I feel like the situation here is that you can block with Ragnarok. Like the ult comes through, you insta-immune it, and then you just walk away. And there's not much they can do about it, because you can just kite with Undertow. This is
They're looking for another
very
fight there.
aggressive.
They are going to get the Shen straight away, but do they have anything left in the tank? Ash is free hitting. That was a clone she hit. No, that was Nami, sorry.
No, that was the real one. They're dead. It's a double. This
She's
is
stepping forward again.
Yeah, that's not
Flash
a
is
play.
a good flash on the Sejuani Q.
It
there.
is a
Galio
play.
follow-up. Tags onto Sejuani on the backline as well, but here's Silas on the flank. He needs to get towards the Ashe though, but she's just unchecked. She's doing so much damage.
Yeah,
Caitlyn
what's
needs to
that?
focus her down. She closes out nothing, but still lives for just long enough. 1,000 gold goes over to Galio there on the Caitlyn. And this is a good fight for blue side. They found some magic.
Yeah, they end up turning it around. I think there was some targeting issues here, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I think red side should have won this fight super hard. It's a shame we're not gonna be able to get a replay on that, but yeah, it was kind of crazy. A fight, I guess it works out. Well played coming over for Mr. Darkpie, but I think that maybe there was some potential targeting errors that came into play here. Also, huge was the fact that one member was instantly rooted under the tower and got bursted out super early. Had that turret fallen at the start of the fight, potentially things could have looked very different, but instead, kill comes through and the fight becomes playable. I think suddenly, there's signs of life coming out of the bottom side. They actually have some damage. Oh my god, I've just realized.
The Ashe build.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think she knows what patch she's on. Even if she was on the right patch, that build is not great.
It's. I don't think I can do a game 2, this is painful. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's Ash has always had very unique build paths, so maybe it's Giga OP. We will see where the damage comes from. I actually think, weirdly, this is a Hurricane game anyway, because of how much frontline there is. So I would have been interested to have seen that. It's okay if not. Right now, the break point has approached us. The dam has burst. Olaf has 3 items, and no one can kill him anymore. Because Death Dance is not balanced. So we're going to be looking forward to that one. Really rearing its ugly head in this one. As Arrow comes through, it is a Silas, so he'd probably just dash to the side and watched it fly by.
Yeah, nice sidestep there. They need to see if they can leverage the Olaf now.
Yeah, this is the real test now, is whether or not that Olaf can come into his full effectiveness. I think in this sort of gameplay situation, you can actually set up your vision on the bottom side, leave Olaf top, and just run.
Mm.
Kind of the same play that we discussed last time, where you don't need to fight straight away. You can let Olaf do his thing in a side lane, and if you then stop the recalls, you just win the game because Olaf backdoors. And as you can see, they're going to send the Shen back here. Silas is there as well, so potentially that 1v2 situation. But in this case, you can sort of set up double TP stuff and play on the side. So forcing those teleports is always going to be good.
Well, he fancies the 1v2, but he's had to walk out of this. He gets
No,
keep
he wins
Ragnarok
this.
there. He's re-engaging it.
Oh, never mind.
He doesn't know.
Okay.
They've got a he's got to fight in bot lane though. Ash is free hitting again. There's no CC coming towards her. Stan United saves Sejuani. Gale Force forward, but that's on an Ash, so she's going to die straight away. Sejuani's now got the flank. Silas got the flank, sorry. Steals away the Maokai ult. They land it onto Ash, but they don't have the follow-up. Galio's going to re-engage here. He hasn't got very much HP, but he does manage to live long enough to take out Nami, and it looks like Frost are crumbling here.
Yeah, on top of that, look at top lane. They've still got that Olaf who didn't even teleport in. This was a 4v5, technically more like a sort of 4v3, 4v4 situation with late arrivals, but it means the Hodgson gets themselves the inhib. Nice turnarounds coming through here, and crucially, potentially going to be denying that soul, given the fact that the Sejuani is dead. There's no steal option. Alphonse going to look to try and find something, potentially does have that Pot Blossom available, doesn't hit the chain stuff.
Good Pot Blossom. He needs to make a big play here, though. There's an Olaf TP coming in, so he's already completed his goal. It's now just can he make the play happen. He gets good shot down onto Nico there, 600 gold. Sonya to buy a little bit more time. Can he get another W? He can. The Kingslayer is keeping him alive just long enough to land a chain lash onto Galio, and he goes 2 for 1.
Yeah, buys that time, and time is golden, so that's going to be the Dragon now, going to be going over here. Easy stuff available. Blazing Midnight plays it well enough, does end up going down. It's a bit of a shame, but Alphonse not quite able to make that hero play, even with that double. Smite goes through, and Ramco's just walked up. This could be interesting.
He fancies the fight, but...
Yeah, I don't think Hodgson needs to be that scared, but is kinda.
Okay, they're using everything to disengage them.
I'm not gonna lie, I was ready for him to Ragnarok and kill 3 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm overvaluing the strength of Olaf at this point. That's definitely possible, but I feel like when that arrow landed, the game could have just been very, very scary. But instead, just gonna walk away from that one easy peasy, easy as you like, and the game will be paused temporarily. We will have to wait and see what that is once we have a bit more information to work with. But for now, it's fine. It is what it is. It's all good. We shall wait and see.
And even though the game feels like it's favored towards a Blaze here, they have exactly equal dragons, and they have pretty much even gold as well. Only about 2,000 ahead, which doesn't really matter at 34 minutes. So it's purely comp which is giving the advantage to Blaze here.
Yeah, but the problem is as we said before, is whilst there is definitely that situation where the gold isn't the biggest problem, the problem that we are the problem that we're running into now is those numbers. You know, we're starting to reach that point where certain champions are starting to become problematic, and when you combine that with potential itemization issues, shall we say, that might have been coming into play within this game, it creates a strange scenario now where the timer has been hit, and unfortunately, the alarm bells are ringing, and you can't put it on snooze for much longer. So it's going to be a tough one to sort of finish. It's all about closing out cleanly here, because we are creating that weird nuance in the game where it's almost late enough that if you do get aced, you can still go for that reverse rundown. Where red side could potentially get themselves that ace come through if something goes wrong, and then they just run it down mid and just end the game, right? So it's not like the game is completely over. There's definitely some things that can happen, and with the fact that that soul is still available for them, it's not out of the woods. I actually think that there's always the option for an Elder Steel. The ability to have these turnarounds is so much bigger because of that than it used to be many years ago, many moons ago, shall we say, back in my day. So you have that chance, right? And given those sort of facts, it's all about closing cleanly, and that's something that we haven't really seen. I think this game overall has been very scrappy. There's been a lot of abnormalities, should we say, that aren't necessarily needed, but come into play anyway. And I think that is definitely something that could end up being a deciding factor in this one, where maybe we don't see that split push come through. Maybe we don't see those towers get taken in front of their opposition. Maybe we see a fight break out and suddenly someone plays it mechanically wrong. Someone dies early, doesn't use a cooldown, doesn't ult or something, doesn't flash a spell. These things can happen, especially when things start to get a little bit tense. So that possibility is still on the table.
Mm. That being said, Ashe does have both summoners, and it's it's going to be hard to find that angle
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
all this front line as well. So they've
Yeah.
got their work cut out for them here, Frost.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. There's much to be worried about, but we've got to give them that hopium, because if we won't, who's going to? You've got to be a believer in the boys, and I think right now, to break that fourth wall a little bit, if you're a believer in that Twitch chat, you know what you got to do. You know what you got to do. They've always got to get involved. To me, I was about to say something that I was going to regret, so I'm glad that I've learned a little bit of restraint these days. Um, uh, I, I'm not a gentleman who partakes in the devil's lettuce. I am not one that gets high, but if I was going to get high on anything, it's going to be hopium in this one, because it's there. You've got your 4-item Caitlyn, hopium. You've got your 3-item Silas, hopium. But crucially, actually, you are going to be getting that Putrefier now online, so that healing cut is inbound. Maokai suddenly not healing for as much. Olaf, potentially, if he does join these fights, like we've been seeing actually start to crop up quite a bit, there is that possibility of some gameplay shenanigans coming into play. I think the biggest thing here, though, is that with these death timers, you potentially have this option for blue side just to run straight to the Baron right now. You can then teleport your Maokai, not Maokai, your Galio in, and then Silas can't answer, right, because he had to teleport over to the objective earlier. So you have this teleport advantage played right now that's available to blue side. The question for me is whether or not they'll see it. They've had time to sort of sit and talk, which is obviously not something you're meant to do, but everyone does it, right?
Yeah,
Like,
who's
realistically,
gonna
because
stop
we
them?
have no way of monitoring it, so it's just a thing that teams do. It's not against the rules or anything. It's just a bit like,
Yeah, I think
you know,
in
eh,
if you're playing like tier 1 events, you're not allowed to do that. But
no. But here it's like, no offense, obviously, to the VL staff, but it's very hard for us to get Faker. You know, like it's also just different rules, so you can do what you want. Like, it's fine. So for me, I feel like the play here is blue side walks to Baron. They then set up the 4v5. You play off of Ashe Arrow, because in 18 is it 18 or 13 seconds? My eyes are playing. I'm gonna say 13, because I think it's around that time. In 20 seconds time, once the arrow should be starting to come off cooldown. The Twisted Advance play becomes available as well, with the Grasping Roots, for a retro moment. Can look to engage with that as well. You have these engage tools to pull the trigger on. You take that 4v5 fight and you win the game. If they don't contest you, you get Baron, and Olaf split pushes the game away. So this is the potential play that is on the table right now. The question for me is, will they see it?
yeah,
That's always the question. Will they see it?
well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Unpaused. Okay, we're back in it.
Um,
Well, I don't think they saw it because Ash
they
is
didn't see it, did
recording.
they?
So
But there's still time. Smile. They didn't. Yeah, they didn't see it.
they didn't see it.
They record instead, didn't they?
Oh, okay.
Crawling in my skin. No. Okay. So never mind. The moment has passed. The angle is no longer there, and now, instead, what we'll see is this Olaf start the split push in the bottom side. You already have the inhib exposed, so it makes sense to do this afterwards.
Mm.
Run him down. Run him down.
Do it.
Just run
Yes.
him down. Yeah.
No.
What
Oh.
the? Hodgson! Hodgson! Bruh.
He is still making pressure though, even if he's not killing them. He is. He's creating a pressure point, and actually, because of these, so Shen and Silas as solo laners don't have fantastic wave clear. I'm not sure. Can Silas clear super minions that well? I don't think he can.
It's not the worst in the world, but it's definitely not amazing. He can kill them consistently and he won't die, but he has to blow his full rotation to do it, so it's very slow.
Hmm.
It requires 2 rotations actually. He needs to get W off twice to kill the big boys.
Better than Aatrox, but not quite Rise.
Yeah, he ain't rising to the occasion.
Yeah. So, what that does mean is that because it takes so much time for him to clear these minions, Olaf has loads of time to set up the split push, and we can see it now because he's got all the way to the inhibitor bot. He's not confident to step forward here though. He doesn't want to do the 1v2.
Yeah.
But drawing those 2 people around the map does mean that the rest of his team can take over the Baron pit, and of course, being Maokai, he can control the area super effectively.
Absolutely. And damage is there. Oh, that's a speedy Ash.
Alter, do it. It's the real one.
Do it, you won't.
Yeah.
Yes, it is what it is. Anyway, looking at the way the game state is. Oh, Arrow just got fired again. Silas, not gonna land on that one, unfortunately.
Oh, that was a big chunk.
Okay, I love the no block. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, so the tower has already fallen in the bottom side now. Having said that, it is inhib time, so just time to hit away, dish it out.
Yeah,
You see everyone right now, so you can just walk up. It's fine. Come on. It's okay. It's okay, Hodgson. Go on. It's that.
Seems like he's just happy staying back. I assume it's because he doesn't want his TP cancelled, but he doesn't actually have TP, so maybe not.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you also see Silas, so you know, like, it's...
Yeah, vision
no,
of
the
it.
steal.
Someone tried to get in, she doesn't get it.
It was close. It was real close.
Oh, she's flashing out, but Stan United's going to keep her alive just a little bit longer. Actually gets out, Galley ulting the bush. Wall, getting over the wall, I guess.
He's got his vision control.
Yeah, vision.
See, you as a low elo gamer, you wouldn't be aware of that vision control angle that was there. So.
You know, if it was, they could have been like checking the red buff, and I'm not sure. Like, maybe there was like an angled flash over.
I mean, I guess the idea is maybe you can, if you can get a pick, you can just end the game off of that because you have Baron. But it's also like, it's one of those where I don't think you need to overforce too much because you have this dragon that they have to fight anyway. So you're gonna get yourself that chance either way. I think it was just a bit greedy trying to kill the Sejuani, especially given the fact that you've already burned the Stan United. So what you could do instead is you recall earlier, then you're here, and now you can just bush camp. And like Breadside can't walk up because there's no Stan United. 2, they're just gonna get giga chunked by the damage that comes through from demonic embrace. Because Maokai just does absurd damage with the saplings now because of that item. And no one can really tank it easily. So it's one of those where ideally you want to have bush control so you get the bigger saplings for the extra damage, but
look at Silas here, he's got a huge...
Yeah, he's got a flank.
Twisting Nether is gonna just tag Ash on the back, like she's almost dead from it. It does so much damage. She's staying alive just a little bit longer, but she's so chunked out she can't really participate. Caitlyn's stepping really far forward onto the front line here. I think they've just pushed them back.
Get in there, Hodgson.
Free dragon.
Hodgson, get in there. Hodgson, kill them.
The blast cone is up, so there is a steal angle. But they're so chunked out. They don't have any TPs to replenish the health bars either.
Hodgson, do it. Be a man. Hodgson, be a man. Get in there. Hodgson! Hodgson, run!
When's he going to press it?
Go! Please, Hodgson, just go! Just kill them all!
They're going for a complete coin flip here. It's the Dragon's ult. This is so important.
Come on.
He's committed now. Can they burst the dragon? Oh, Sejuani gets it, but there's a huge galley ult that tags onto 2 actually. It's not that big, but Olaf is buying his time. He needs to press the go button, but he's just not going for it.
He's vibing.
And now the fight's going to fall apart for them.
God damn.
I think the Baron buff's expired as well, so it's going to be hard defending. defending against Caitlyn here.
And so that's kind of like the idea from earlier, right? Is that you can stall out these cooldowns if you play the fight slow enough. So just sort of stalling out that Baron has been so effective. It's got 10 seconds left, I believe, and then it's gone entirely. Caitlyn just finding that Giga chunk coming through.
Oh, good flash forward! Instant stopwatch though. She's still alive. She's gonna die though, coming out afterwards. And Hodgson is just can't quite tank Palace enough. Caitlyn is too strong now.
Yeah, I guess the game is just won for Red side. I guess they just win. Your prediction was correct. It's going to be that easy turnaround now. I'm going to hit those towers, and PvE comes into play. Easy stuff here. Final moments.
Against all odds, we did not think they were winning that game.
No. GG's.
Yeah, I mean, as we said, execution always plays such a large factor in these games. So better execution from Frost. They are going to pick up game one, and that's good for them, as we were saying earlier, because in the standings they're 1-1, so getting up to 2-1 now. That'll be good, securing at least second place for now.
Very pleased, I'm sure, with themselves, and I believe that we're going to be going to a break in a moment or two. But yeah, this was a strange game to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you. This was an interesting one. There were some moments. Overall, I mean, it's became clear that the Caitlyn was just able to just dish it out in the late game, but it felt as if there was some apprehension, perhaps.
Yeah, they just didn't have the confidence, and it's bad. It's kind of bad when you're playing a comp which is so like, I don't know if I can say this, but they're so balls to the walls. They need to go in. It's like they if Hodgson isn't going in, then their comp is like it's lacking a lot. So they needed they needed a bit more aggression from him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there was a lot of as meme worthy as it wasn't entirely Hodgson, right? I think that the team in general had some issues. I think every player made errors that were like noticeable at different points in the game. But it felt like the team just sort of fell apart in that sort of mid game, and then didn't know how to execute what they had in the late game. And it's kind of why I say before that some of these champs that we are starting to see in solo queue pop up in pro play, you have to have that knowledge on how to execute on them. But yeah, in this case, just didn't quite have it. So it is what it is, and yeah, unfortunate loss coming through.
So yeah, I suppose we will just short break.
Vanished.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
short break.
yeah.
Or
So,
unless you've got some more you'd like to discuss.
I think it's a Kit Kat angle.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
time for a break.
LEC watcher. That's all.
LEC enjoyer. Ah, yes. I got Kit Kats from the LEC. That's where I got that from.
Yeah. Well, okay. I will see you shortly. 10 minutes, I suppose.
Goodbye, boys. I love and I love you all. Smile.
Bottles in the ice, like a blizzard. When we drink, we do it right. Getting slizzard, sipping scissor. In my ride, like 3-6. Now I'm feeling so fly, like a G6, like a G6, like a G6.
Okay, so Pike one trick. Nice. Did they lose the? I think I might be an idiot.
No, they swapped out their top laner, so they've got Krello instead now.
Nice. That is good. That is a good thing for them.
Yeah, because it was Shen.
They don't have to
Shen.
worry about the getting no banned then. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
Do you know what else is good?
What?
You smile.
No.
Hello everyone. How are we all doing today?
You make me blush.
Oh, you're welcome, bro. We love the homies. Shout out Shade as well. How you doing, Shade? Anyway, we are into a new section, shall we say? We got ourselves another team to play against, and after a what I will say shaky performance in game number 1, it was a win. A win's a win. We take those. But Frostbite looking to bounce back, I think, to get a bit more confidence here in game number 2. As I say, they did win it, but it definitely had its fair share of problems. So I'm looking forward to seeing now if they can flip things around a bit, should we say. Is there anything you're looking towards here, Big, for changes in their performance?
Well, I mean, in terms of performance, I think the execution was fine. It wasn't great, but it was passable. So I think they need to change a couple things with the draft. First of all, I don't think the Nami is. It doesn't make much sense for the draft. So while it makes sense to give it priority if you're playing it with the Lucian Nami when it was open, I didn't like how they used it in that game. So I'd like to see that change, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing if they do make that adaptation. I think that bot lane was combo was a little bit of an interesting one to play out, but it worked for them. They got themselves that royale, as we say, the chicken royale came into play. So they're obviously very happy to at least get themselves to a fully positive 2-1 record. I think they're 2-1 now.
Yep, 2-1.
So definitely pleased about that one. Looking at these two teams, I'm expecting obviously similar bans to come through, but the Pike ban is the obvious one we need to discuss, right? Because there is a minor case of what I refer to as one trickery. This game, this season, there is a certain player who has played 57 games of solo queue, right?
Okay.
52 of them are on Pike.
Nice. What's the win rate?
65.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if they're not scouting this, then I think we're going to see a Pike.
I think Pike is going to be banned. Also, last season it was like 200 and something games, and the next most was like barely 100. It's the nuance of this player is my two mains are Pike and Yumi. Like,
What?
could not be further apart if you tried.
The duality of support players.
Honestly, it's they're all insane.
Yeah. Dude, I hope we see Pike. Please don't ban it. Please don't ban it. I got my fingers crossed. I want to see Pike so bad. Dude, imagine also if he has the new Ethereum skin. Because I've still never seen anyone get a pen skill with that, and I really want to see someone do it.
Yep. I mean, it's definitely always fun to watch X marks the spot creating, treasure in the back pockets. But whether we'll see it or not will be.
Okay, last ban. Do ban it.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, it's open.
Really?
Do you think they'll first pick it?
Uh,
Maybe it's a bait. Maybe they're trying to bait.
I mean, it's definitely a bait, but you do it anyway, no?
Okay, sticking.
No,
wait, no, they didn't have Marco last. They had Sejuani last time. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different team anyway.
Yeah.
This is the new team.
Oh right. Whoops.
So it's the same situation. That's interesting. That is very interesting.
They're gonna do the exact same response. Dude, can you imagine if we see the same draft?
Apparently, the Pike player is their top lane of this game, so that's really going to be interesting. I don't know what the hell's happening there. That's That's weird. I don't know why. Maybe he's just the best top laner in the world. But yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting decision. Decision.
Yeah, same response. Okay.
Okay, Silas Nami. So what, we're getting Sejuani again? Because Maokai's already locked in. They go, haha, you can't play Sejuani, so we're getting R3 Sejuani.
Wait, hang
If you
on.
do,
Are the bans the exact same as last time? Well,
no, because one of the teams didn't have bans last time.
no, but I mean the bans against them. Ezreal, Luda, and Fiora. Are they the same? I mean, I know Ezreal was banned.
Ezreal was open last time.
I don't think he was. He was definitely banned.
Was he?
Yeah.
Really? Ah, okay.
Okay.
Wait,
They
we're
got
taking, we're
Pardon?
giving over Lucian Nami for a Caitlyn pick. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, if they go like Maokai, Caitlyn, Luxia, I think they're halfway to Exodia. So
I think it's not that clear cut just yet. I think that there's a lot of potential problems that can come with this kind of composition. Specifically, it's very, very burst reliant, which means that R3, so R4, R5 can get a lot of tank based value. I also don't think that. So Lux Caitlyn wins the lane matchup early, but mid game it becomes very hard to play into like Lucian Nami. So they get the Sejuani, which is that tank that we were discussing. It's the same situation as you said before, like the same exact pick ban on red side, where they
actually,
expect you ban Lucian.
Shade's given us the bans. So last game it was Ezreal, GP, Rise bans, and then second bans were Lucian and Zaya. Second rotation bans were Lucian and Zaya.
So if you're an Udyr, so weirdly Ezreal was the only one that was banned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well done. Well, that's it. Fantastic, really.
Getting
Oh,
drafted in Deja Vu. But okay.
Inform.
Lucian banned again, so I don't even know if maybe this team just don't like Lucian army. Because
Maybe.
they never pick the Lucian with an army. I don't
I think they just prioritize Sejuani more. It's just it is what it is. I think
yeah.
they'll take it if they get it, but Sejuani is just worth so much.
I mean I feel
Yeah.
like it's better to pick like Sejuani and I mean I guess they want counter pick top, so maybe just don't pick Nami then. Or pick Lucian and pick Lucian with like Yumi or Lulu or something. But because I think Nami just doesn't pair that well with very many indie carries.
It's definitely an awkward one. Weirdly, I would have liked to have seen. Maybe not actually. I was gonna say Nami is usually really good if you get him paired with mages as well. So you can do like Ziggs, and it's super nice.
Oh, that's
But
true. They could do
the-
like Nami brand or something.
Yeah, exactly that kind of stuff. Ziggs is banned obviously, but yeah, Nami brand that kind of stuff. But the issue is then is that you're very magic heavy, and you've already seen Maokai lock, so Maokai gets a lot of value.
Mhm.
'Cause he's always loved playing into magic historically.
Yeah.
Shen pick again, honestly. Yeah. You could kind of just slam that and the game ends. I'd do it. Yeah. There you
Okay.
go.
Nice.
Okay. They have a Mundo and they don't have a good way of killing him.
Yeah. I mean, I think I really like the blue side drafter
Yeah.
because I think Veigar is like insane against everyone apart from Midno. I mean, actually, it's not that good against Sejuani, but against the bot side, at least, it's really, really good. If the Shen player is good, he will be able to neutralize Mundo. And then
It's not
Caitlyn Lux
simply
is going to stomp that lane. Or at least it should stomp that lane. So
here's the problem, see, one does not simply neutralize Mundo. My man
okay.
is about to go ballistic. He's gonna destroy them all. The Shen is gonna be like, ah, they have a Sejuani, and Mundo's like, yeah, we do. And then they're gonna go top together. Shen's gonna be like, oh no, I'm dead. Grr. And then he's dead, you know?
Hmm.
And then Mundo runs over everyone's face. So it's gonna be real hype.
Do you really think they can kill Shen though? Like, doesn't Shen just walk away from them?
I think that he actually has some issues, to be honest with you. I think that there is a world in which actually, so if we're going off of pure League theory, there is a world in which Shen just gets perma 3-man dived because Veigar can't contest the push against Silas. Because Silas Sejuani is too strong against him and Maokai, and then they walk top lane, they dive the Shen like 3 times in like 8 to 10 minutes, and then Mundo is unkillable for the rest of the game.
Hmm.
But this is, as we've said before, that's not going to happen because teams aren't coordinated enough to go for that. So maybe I'm overhyping the fact that they have a Mundo. It's definitely possible. I worry at the same time, though, whether or not the Caitlyn Lux will be able to do enough. Because Caitlyn Lux definitely wins the matchup before level 9. But then after level 9, Jinx kind of doesn't care anymore because she has full rank in Q. So she can farm super freely. And then they also just don't necessarily have the ability to set up the dive properly.
Mm-hmm.
They win poke and they'll be up like 10-15 CS for sure. But if it's only 10-15 CS, I don't think it matters. Is where I'm at with it. Having said that, I think that both of these teams have issues with tank shredding, but Red side is considerably more tanky, which is why I prefer Red side because I think it's easier.
Mhm.
But there's definitely a world where Caitlyn Lux just dives this bot lane like 60 million times and just kills them 2v2 with like hidden trap or like a combo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's all about mechanics in this kind of lane matchup. Like, do you get hit by the binding? Because if you do, then the game is like unplayable for Red side. But if you don't, then it's like you just sustained with Nami W and you are down like 15 CS, but it's okay.
Yeah. And I suppose having mid priority is going to make it so much easier as well.
Yeah, that's
Because
like
if
the
you didn't
big.
have prior mid in this game, I think it would
Yeah.
be
Oh,
so
you
hard
just
to
get chain dived and it's unplayable. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is that's the strength of the. This is why they want the Sejuani so much. Is because Sejuani Silas is such a disgusting 2v2.
Mm.
Because Silas, if he hits his chain, it's just that gives him 2 procs of his passive, right? So he gets 2 quick autos. Sejuani gets her W off, which is 2 stacks of her passive as well. Or her E, sorry, which means that then that's 4 stacks total. You get the E stun off of that. Then you get Sejuani ult, and the guy just dies. Like,
Yeah.
that's what makes it so strong.
Yeah.
Is that CC chain? I mean, we'll see if that comes to fruition against someone like Veigar.
I mean, it'd be difficult to actually. That's a good point. I think playing Veigar this game is going to be it's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
But
Also, Silas has like a million good ults again.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like Veigar is like a good pick, but his lane is so difficult. So there's a lot of pressure on him to like not hit before he gets strong.
I also think even when he is strong, this is in a non-toxic way. I think it's very hard for him to not die to Mundo. Like that sounds really weird, but Veigar does not kill tanks well at all. Like he's a burst mage. He's very good at like one-shotting something. But if he has like this big blue boy with his tie in his briefcase, I think he's gonna be getting drifted on. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think this champ is broken.
I mean, fair enough. We'll have to see it, right?
Yeah. I don't think people have seen enough Mundo to know just how broken this champ is. It's crazy. Anyway, maybe that's just biased. Maybe I'm just a biased caster that doesn't know what they're talking about. Maybe I'm just like garbage. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just unga bunga delusional. It's definitely possible. On the subject of delusional, we're experiencing some minor technical difficulties here, as the league client is still as broken as it was 6 years ago, but we're getting there. It's almost there.
Yeah. I mean, do you think we'll see any invades this game? Because I think Red side could look for an invade.
Red side can. For sure, red side can. I mean, but technically both sides can. They have the crowd control to do it. I don't think we will, because I feel like both of the teams are scared, should we say? They're a little bit like intimidated as to what can go wrong. I feel like in low elo, everyone is like, there's 2 kinds of teams, right? You either have the team that is like, let's just chill, it's fine, like we'll be safe, okay, it'll be fine. Or you have like, all right, boys, let's just run it down. And only the run it down teams will like invade, because the others are like, oh, but something could go wrong. We could die at level 1, and then the game is lost. And yeah, I don't know. No one is striking me as a
Run it down team.
Yeah. Having said that, there was some run it down gameplay in the last game, but that was very different.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Anyway, Got that 5-point defense. Again, standard stuff coming into play. But look at the cheese. I do like this idea coming through from blue side. The idea is obviously if you hit that root, you can maybe look for either the free Q damage. Oh, nice.
You can trade
Oh,
my
and the
Silas.
sidestep. Oh, the meme meat shield just got bodied.
Yeah. And then on top of that, he's playing in second win D shield, so he's never going to do any damage to this guy.
Yeah, Silas is just going to be farming it up, chilling. And at level 2, it becomes a really awkward for Vanguard because the traits are no longer even at all.
Oh, okay, they actually both go for poke spells. I mean, fair enough. They're like half
Yeah,
HP to the
it's
Jinx
fine.
already.
Yeah, it's fine.
Jinx actually going for a refillable potion. That is so greedy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's more sustain to go refill than it is to go D-Blade, because you get 80 health from D-Blade, you get 1...
Yeah, but I think she should have
a
longsword
little bit
3
left.
pots.
Oh,
instead
3
of
faults.
freezing.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. That's a fair shout. I agree with that. Okay, so here's the interesting thing about Silas Viger level 2. Viger gets access to Cage, which should make landing like his Q a bit better, and he can just auto you down. But every trade now, because that's such a long cooldown, Silas can E forwards and then just W for the sustain. So it's now kind of just chilling for both sides. Like whenever Vega doesn't have Cage, he has to walk back, which means he sacks CS, or he gets traded back and it's just even. And Silas can just sort of farm with Q now that he's level 3. So mid lane matchup is now just sustain, you know, a little bit of poke, minus CS advantage, base TP, and then the game is just fine. Top lane, same situation, just a little bit of poke, mostly CSing. Bot is interesting one. That's what we're looking forward to.
Oh, okay. Well, you
There is
just
no
PC
looking
it
forward.
instead. I didn't predict that one. I can't
Yeah,
lie.
that was. I mean, I guess sometimes IRL mechanics just hit different. It is what it is.
Yeah. Dog stepped to my Ethernet cable. The counterplay.
Dog diff.
A summoner has reconnected.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Seems like you know, sometimes the PC is just not quite where it needs to be for the evening. Having said that, let's not be too upset, too disappointed, too distraught, because that would just be negative gaming, and that's against the Sonos code. We're not allowed to be negative gamers anymore. The insta unpause, we love it.
Yeah. And look at bot. Jinx has 2 CS right now. And there is no. I mean,
Wait
there
a
is a slow
hang
push,
on.
but
Wait, what?
there's not really. There's kind of a slow push, but there's only 3 extra minions in the slow push. So she is getting bodied right now by Kaden Lux.
It would seem as though they are suffering from a severe case of being bad, and no, that's not ideal. Oh my god, boys, guys, lads, homies, it's
You
rough.
buy him a PC. I got really. What does it say? You buy him a PC instead of brick. Poor guy. XD.
It's looking like a potato angle.
Yeah.
The best part about this is the fact that we have access to chat. I just want to say a shout out to our production Shade. Thank you. We love you. Long time. It, it makes things so much more enjoyable when we know what's going on, because you get to see what we get to see, which is fantastic.
That's why we're better than LEC, because LEC don't get chat, and we do get chat.
Such, yeah, exactly. LEC more like lacking extra content. Got him.
That was a good one.
Thank
Came
you.
up that fast.
Yeah. That was,
What do you
it
call
was,
LCS then?
disappointing.
Okay, nice.
Low competitive standards. Maybe something like that. I don't know.
I want to think of one now. What would I call LPL? It'd be like League played long.
League played long.
I
I think they're quick, to be fair. They're a fast region, my guy.
Yeah.
I respect it, though. I think LPL is actually hard. I'm not gonna lie. I feel it's
I'm
kind of hard.
thinking. I mean, it's got League at least in it.
It does have League in it. It does have that.
Let's play League. There we go. This is like Doinby pause hack.
Don't be poor Zach.
Thinking of some tech. He's like getting his mouse in the perfect position to like do the perfect click as soon as he reconnects.
It's big. He does it every frame.
Yeah.
Just pause, click, pause, click.
It's like TAS League of Legends.
TAS League of Legends. I think that. See, Dota has that, doesn't it? They have like bots. They
Yeah,
do the
do
code.
the bots beat humans yet?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah, they
they?
did. Yeah,
In
yeah, they're
Dota?
better. Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, I know. I think it'd be really interesting if League did something like that.
Because
Like
I watch like in StarCraft, there's a big botting scene in that as well, but the bots can't beat the humans yet,
That's interesting.
or at least the pro. They can't beat the pros. They could beat the average human.
A
Yeah,
summoner
yeah,
has
yeah.
reconnected.
I suppose League doesn't allow botting, which is why there isn't any, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, they don't allow it. However, definitely there.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of those.
D rank bots. Yeah. Oh, we're back. Nice.
We're back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can see how hard it is for Jinx. Jeez. Oh, the bind's gonna land. Already has to burn cleansed. I think
Yeah.
she's gonna get. I think Malcolm should go
I
bot
think
here, right?
this is yeah.
And
This
she
is
burns.
already.
What? She's flashed a Luxie.
I think this is kind of showing the way that this lane is going to end up pretty effectively. I think you have won this this coin toss here on whether or not the Jinx is able to dodge spells.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
I mean, they do have Sejuani bots, so
They do.
Lux is warding now. Well, okay. There is no saving grace.
There is only.
Good luck farming this wave. Oh, wait, Sejuani's smurfing. She's going the long way.
Okay.
If this gank doesn't work, then
Then FF go next.
yeah, literally. But I think it's gonna work though.
I
It's
think it works.
just to wait for the wave to go past there.
Yeah. I mean, I think you just walk up now.
Okay, she's. But she's okay. She's going.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think it's just just sits W. What is Lux doing?
Why are they standing still?
Wait, where is the E? Oh my god. This was so badly played by everyone.
Okay,
Ah!
at least they didn't die, right? Like, Nami managed to flash the Caitlyn Q. She's still
Yeah,
alive.
I mean,
I
Caitlyn's
didn't.
just gonna build up a headshot and just walk up and flash auto her, and she's dead though.
I think they're just backing on a freeze. This is so
Yes.
bad for them.
Just what the?
And then meanwhile, there was an all-in in mid lane, and both of them have blown all their mana. So
Yeah, now they're just vibing.
yeah.
I would like us both to recall and teleport. Like,
Gentleman's agreement.
Gentleman's
Restart the
agreement.
lane. We both messed up.
We appear to be bad. Can I please leave? It's like, yes, sir. I love you too. To be fair, if I saw what my bot lane just did, that's exactly what I'd do too. I respect that.
My face went.
The top laner in jungle is just like, nah, absolutely not doing that again. Jesus, they're toxic. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wanted the camera to go bot because I want to know what happens to Caitlyn's wave. Because if she has a freeze, then this game is actually over. But
It's definitely frozen.
okay.
It's a roughy toughy.
Yeah, and no summoners either. All
Yeah.
Maokai, yeah, and Maokai is passing bot here.
Okay, yeah. So we can already see what's gonna happen here, right? It's just gonna be
Yeah,
Caitlyn
I
who
predict
freezes it.
in 30 seconds, Maokai is going to flash on Jinx, and she will.
Yeah, and she's just dead. Yeah, exactly. You might not even need to flash. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, he might just walk at them, throw a sapling.
I think the way you do it is you say flash for bubble, and when she bubbles, you flash past it, and then you W.
Hmm.
WQ, Lux binds off of the. Don't even Q actually, just W, because you know what? Even better. I predict Maokai is going to use his Q and it's going to knock them away from the Lux binding and it won't hit. That's what's going to happen.
I mean,
That's just
even if that does happen, Caitlyn
that-
could literally just flash an
Oh
example.
yeah, they still die, but that's just how these ganks always go. I swear to God, every time I have a Morgana or a Lux and there is a Maokai gank, just has to happen. It just. Sorry,
Yeah.
I think I just suffered some sort of emotional damage there. I think that was. I think I had a flashback. My subconscious is just like, absolutely, you have to get this off your chest, bro.
Back in solo queue.
We've been paused for 7 minutes, so this has become therapy.
Yeah. They're just trying to find any way to fix their lane, but I don't think the best chess engine can solve
I
this.
don't think expiring the 30-minute countdown to restart the game is allowed. I don't think that's an option.
They're trying to wait for them to grow so old that they forget what's happening.
Oh, we're gonna boomer diff them.
Yeah.
We're gonna hit them with the 100 Thieves special. Jesus.
100 Thieves even doing good. I've watched like 2 of their games.
Yeah, the issue is that they do well against the teams that are like not amazing, but against like the good teams they've kind of struggled. I think their game against FlyQuest was really awkward. Like if you watch this game back, there was a lot of stuff here that was kind of crazy.
I mean, I saw I don't what's his support called? Double support?
Bussy.
Bussier, yeah. I saw him get solo kills.
He's my
at,
favorite.
like 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Best name. Where is he from? Is he? He must be like...
he's NA resident, isn't
Oh, okay.
I think.
I mean, I guess in America they
he's
don't know
just
what
been in
that means,
academy a while.
so-
Yeah. NA resident, yeah. So he's from somewhere on that continent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That was. I think I saw he took QE as his first 2 spells on Rakan when you have Zaya, which was kind of crazy.
Mm.
Maybe I don't know the matchup. I always thought the W was super good. Anyway, Viogank. He is Giga dead.
He's kind of in a bit of a pickle here. Silas doesn't have enough mana
Yeah.
to use the
Shawnee
Vega
has-
ult.
So Shawnee has E though, so it's just.
Oh, he does have enough mana. Okay. They trade ults there, but Silas is a little bit more tanky. And then Malka has to run away as well.
Wait, how did that lane turn around in bot? They're actually like able to push this. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess they just
Oh,
had
here
push
comes the
control?
Maokai. There goes my Maokai. One of those like slow-mo like AMV remixes as well.
Watch him as he farms Scuttlecraft.
Watch him as he farms.
Well, they didn't have a freeze.
Okay,
Or their
brother.
freeze got broken. So
Get him.
bot
Yeah,
lane is
they're-
playable. That's good news.
Yeah, the freeze got broken because Lux got Omega chunked. And I'm not quite sure how, but she had like super low HP, so I had to force them into a recall. They're still up a ton in CS though, so you're not exactly unhappy. The thing is though, is that it's not being converted into plate money, which is quite large.
Hmm.
'Cause,
I think
that's one of
there's-
the things. Oh, go on.
I think they're just gonna play ping pong now.
Yeah.
Look at them. They're just like one pushes wave and then the other one back. So-
Yeah, it's just one of those. The thing is, that if you have Caitlyn Lux, your like dream is if you can get your jungler to come bot side and just ward up the enemy bottom side. Like as in, if this Sejuani gets her blue side jungle warded like lit up like a Christmas tree, it's so turbo unplayable by the way because you just keep them shoved in and you know where the enemy jungler is if he ever enters this area. So you know that you can just stay at their tower and you just poke.
God,
It's like, and that means that the plates are just yours. It's so unplayable, but they, yeah, there's no setup for that yet, so you can't really pressure as much as you'd like to.
yeah. Good news at least is that Silas is doing really well in this mid matchup. I think he can 1v2 this, to be honest.
He doesn't die. I don't think you can kill anyone, but he definitely doesn't die. That is crazy.
What's crazy?
Just looking at the way that some of these situations are being played, it's really interesting to me. I feel like there is a
They're trying again. No.
yeah. I think the interesting thing to watch here is like the fact that this wave is so slow push. I actually feel like Maokai and Vigar made a bit of a mistake here because they worked together to push this mid wave. I think they should walk bot right now.
Yeah.
Like if they're bot lane on this timing, like how unplayable is this? If you're AD carry here, because Maokai's going to CC you, he's then going to W to drop aggro, and you just die, and you lose another double stack. The game just ends at this point because it's going to be 2 traps. There's traps behind her, by the way, so she just can't walk back. But you lose 2 waves there. You lose 2 plates probably as well. Kills go over. It's really hard to play from there. So I actually think they should have dived bot. Instead, they go topside to this Herald. But now their numbers disadvantage slash this is actually where red side is stronger. You know, they have that Silas that we talked about being so strong right now. Mundo is pretty big, even if he's down level right now. He's bigger than Shen in damage, so Shen has to back up.
I'm not even sure if this is... I mean, it's nice that they got the Rift Herald, but
Yeah,
it might have just even have been better if they just went and fogged their bot lane here. Because I don't know if they can survive another wave of this. There's so much poke.
yeah. I mean, it's just one of those where I don't. The problem. Okay, so now they're going for the play. It's like a minute and a half late, but this is exactly what I wanted to see Vigar do earlier.
Oh, and he sandwiched them there.
Yeah, exactly. So you do this, and now they just can't leave because they're just gonna get poked onto tower. But don't ult that. Why are you ult?
Huh?
So you shouldn't ult this, and this is why. You're about to see. Now you don't have anything to fight back with if anyone else grabs. And the guy is already turbo dead, so you don't really need to use your ulti. Now you have no CCs, and it's a very awkward fight to play out. I actually think red side can win this pretty hard.
I mean, it was a good preemptive ult from Shen there. He predicted gank well.
Yeah, very much so. But it's gone very early.
She just ticks down. Nice.
Yeah, I think it's fine if Silas had gone with, but instead Alphonse doesn't go, and then it's a weird sort of 4v3 situation.
Or is he gonna go for the snipe? Go for the snipe.
Yeah, he's
Do it,
got
do
to,
it.
right?
Oh, he did it!
My god, bro!
No.
This is
Okay.
so crazy. Oh, man.
Alfonso from downtown.
What have I... Oh my god, okay, boys.
Yeah, I mean, he's saving this game. I think he needs to put this game on his back.
Sheesh. Kind of crazy.
Oh,
It's
he's
hype.
got another target in his sights. 3
Man's
level
into-
lead.
Man's
Yeah.
looking like a deforestation angle.
Yeah.
He's about to chop that tree down to size.
I hope he's wearing cut down.
I hope so. Man's looking at a future chair right there. Maybe turn his ass into a table. Then he can WWE slam him.
And then on top of all that, Shen hasn't even lost any CS. Although he did lose 3 tower plates, so I guess
Yeah.
that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know, but yeah. So you can kind of see what I meant earlier, though, when I was saying that there's like a 4-man dive option that they could have gone for, but it's fine. Nami is mega dead.
Ooh, a lot of damage from the Sakura.
Yeah, their number's down. The size hasn't arrived yet. It's going to be here. So the question to me is, what ulti can you take? Lux laser is down. The just advance, I think, isn't an option. I think that's also on cooldown for South to take. So it would only be the Vigar ult, but you can already take the Primordial first.
Looks like they're gonna trade mid instead.
Yeah. Oh, they take the Stand United. That's interesting. So if you take Stand United, it normally means that you want to now split push a little bit, so you can play the side lane. But we're not quite at that point in the game where Silas really wants to leave mid. So maybe you take this defensively. Oh my god, Mundo is just going to carry the game. The game is actually over. You think I'm memeing? The game is over. Like, Mundo is just carrying the game now with this much gold. Can we do a gold check? I think you need to press X if possible. Oh.
Ooh, a big chunk.
Yeah. Look at that, okay? My boy is up. He is on, he's got stonks, okay? And now Sejuani's about to pick up some freebies too.
Good flash from Caitlyn, dodges the tsunami. They're trying to turn it back around actually, but there's a Stand United from Silas, that's why he took the ult. And now
He was ready.
got onto Lux. Nami's going to go down there with Silas. Flash forward from Veigar. He's looking for the ult, but he doesn't quite have the range. Good cage keeps Silas in range. And the spells will land in the end, getting a big shutdown from Silas.
Yeah, very, very nice. Good. A little bit of play there from Mimi's shield. plays it properly, does just go for forcing that little dance, making sure that Alphonse can't really leave the area. Does end up getting hit by everything as well, I think. Oh no. Oh, this is a solo bolo.
He's got the heart steal. He's got the ultimate.
It's a solo bolo.
He's running him down.
No, fight him.
He's clicked back. Okay.
Rob's
Does
fighting.
land another cleaver. I think. Finish him with
Rob-
E as well. Finish him with E. I want to
Rob's
see him
fine,
get
just
yeeted.
put him down.
He's flashing. Okay. Hopefully.
Why?
He's going
Just
for the
down,
outpost.
Robs.
Taunt through.
It's a solo bolo angle. That's what I'm saying.
He's only down 4k HP. He can win this.
True.
And he gets slapped.
There you go. It's a heart steal. He was actually just taking his time to farm it for multiple heart steal.
Yes, he was farming grasp and heart steal.
It's big brain. You watch that. Mundo's gonna live on 1 HP later. It's gonna be a grasp gap.
That's why he's playing Business Mondays.
He's
Making
all
money.
about that money, man.
Snacking.
He's got the stonks. Man's treating grasp like Bitcoin. Except it ain't ever gonna fall.
Yeah.
Okay. Run him down too. No, that time I mean he doesn't have ult. if he has ult, he actually does, but yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Okay. He's in a 2v3 here. Takes a lot of damage, but he does have a King Sled. Keep him topped up. Oh, Gale falls forward, finishes him off, and Caitlyn there. Ignites on Sejuani as well. Doesn't quite have enough, but Mundo, do
Here
you
comes
actually
the
fancy
money,
this?
man.
No. Okay. He's not going to 1v5 yet. Maybe in another 5 minutes.
Yeah. He's his ult. He's his ult.
Just walks in the cage.
Yeah, exactly.
He does not care. Okay, maybe he does care. Oh, but the Piltover Peacemaker's going to miss.
Okay,
But
never mind. He's just trolling. I don't know.
Primordial Burst takes him out of the end there. And Nami's died as well, and lost her.
Right, he's still up there. I like the fact that we started this cast.
Oh, he's going to get trapped and die.
Oh,
No, don't do it. Silence. No. He's going to get trapped. And he gets burst out as well. Oh, it's a disaster. They're going to crack the mid lane turret, and Malco's already started the Rift Herald as well.
I've missed you, League of Legends. You are. I like the fact that we started this cast like, yeah, maybe not the most so, but like fairly professional. It was like, oh, I'm gonna try and now it's just a case of just I'm kind of feel like I'm more of a spectator who it feels like a co-stream, you know, like I feel like we're sort of just talking about what's happening, and it's very it is an experience, you know, and I just want to say I'm thankful that I get to spend it with you, you know, it's just thank you so much.
It's a good business venture. Learn it
It's
from
a
Nocta
good-
Mundo. You make the
Also,
coach
just to-
team, then mainstream.
Yeah, on the subject of business ventures, Moneyman Mundo is in the house.
Yeah.
Your boy scaling. You know, sometimes you have to make risky business decisions. That's what that pathing was.
Yeah.
It's a business venture. Man had a meeting and he didn't have time to go the long way.
Yeah.
He had a meeting with death. Jesus. Alright. Go on,
Well-
money man. Get in there. He's intimidated by the Mundo. He needed crown.
Yeah. He's his tiara. Really. I mean, Kaylin is absurdly fed now. I think,
She really
like,
is.
next base she's gonna have IE, and then...
The thing is, she's done that thing again, which Caitlyn doesn't seem to be doing, which is she's not gone Kraken.
Oh, look at that Lux damage. Oh, the Kingdom got cancelled. The Twisting Advance doesn't knock them down. Okay. Dude, Lux is doing so much damage. I swear she's doing more damage than Caitlyn.
She is. Yeah, she is. The thing is, though, is that I feel like when Sejuani gets 2 items, Caitlyn will never kill her again, and I think Mundo is already unkillable to her. So this is kind of why I don't like seeing this Gale Force into tanks. It just feels very awkward. I don't know. I'm not high on it. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm just delusional, and maybe I don't know the numbers, but I feel like Gale Force's game is very, like, okay, I'm far enough ahead that the game doesn't matter. But I don't know. I would always go. I guess you do get to dodge Sejuani or not, but yeah, I don't know. I'd still go Kraken in this game if it was me.
Yeah, I mean,
like-
yeah.
Go safe.
I think the two arguments you can make for it is that you can dodge Nami and Sejuani ults
Mhm.
with it, so that's one perk, and then you can. It also means that you got to play your lane more aggressively.
Yeah.
But I think yeah, if they're not snowballing, if they make a mistake now, they can't kill Mundo. So
Yeah. I also think that in the argument for Sejuani / Nami engage, tidal wave is like slower than my brain some days, so like it don't move quick. Um, so I feel like you can usually sidestep this or dodge it with net anyway. And as for the Sejuani engage, I feel like you should have a front line ahead of you. You don't need to play flanks with this comp. It's just all about surviving. That's why you have a Shen, right? So it feels like I don't think you need it. That's the counter argument I would make. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not correct to do it. I just think it's a bit suboptimal if we're talking perfect play. But as I say, that we're very in a non-offensive way. We're far from perfect.
yeah, what do you think about this one? Moonstone Nami. Give me your thoughts on that.
Oh, it's hype.
It's hype. Okay.
It's hype. Personally, I prefer to see Rabadon's rush, but that's just me.
Yeah, actually, I like the Stalk boots.
I do like the soul food, bro.
Do you remember they were doing that in Korea
Oh my
every
God.
single game?
I just die internally. You know, like there's some stuff you see in Korea, and I just go, you guys are just too big brain for me. I just want to say thank you. You know, thank you for teaching me your ways of amazingness. Truly, shout out Faker. I feel like he needs a shout out these days. You know, like from a bigger streamer like VL. We got you covered, Faker.
Okay,
Worry,
go check out his game. But I hear he's...
Yeah, go check out his channel. Shout out T1 Faker on Twitch.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he's an up and comer. I think he's got potential.
Rookie of the split, for sure.
Yeah, rookie of the split. He's a young
Dude, look at him. He's just trying to run a
He's
Caitlyn.
not ulting. Why
Oh,
did
he
he ult?
landed the glacial prison. Oh, but she has flash, didn't she? Silas gets onto her though. Oh, she has exhaust. And another 90 caliber net, so she's fine. Blood's just doing so much.
I guess the girl. Oh, that was actually kind of clean. Okay.
I like that.
So I guess technically you can go Gale Force if Mundo just doesn't ult until he's basically dead. That is an option. I didn't think about that, you know. Maybe I should have considered that in my analysis earlier. They're actually gonna get the inhib here at like 20 minutes. The game is just turbo, like, sprinted. I've only just realized that they're up 9,000 gold. When did that happen?
9,000 gold in 20 minutes. That's crazy.
They're a bit they're a bit like house prices.
What's
Inflated.
skyrocketing?
Oh yeah, that too. More than I can afford. Shout out, money man.
Yeah, Mr. Robs. I mean, I'm gonna leave him alone.
Yeah. Mr. Billy Bob Gates. Hook your boy up. Shout out Bill Gates on Twitch. He's an up and comer. He's got potential.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Is there anything that they can do to get back in this game?
Well, Mundo can find his R key. That's like a step in our direction. They can always look for picks. You know, this Caitlyn does obviously have the Gale Force available, yes, but it doesn't necessarily mean you can't force things. You know, Sejuani ult cooldown is pretty short at this point, so you can throw it, force Gale Force, throw it again later. That's one option. Vigard doesn't have access to Zhonya's, and the crown is currently down, so the same option is available onto him. As well as that, you would be denying Dark Seal stacks, which is humongous. Always going to be useful. Also, you can look for this trade play. Oh, the Nami engage, here it comes!
Is she gonna do a healer sign?
I hope not.
He's just walking into melee range.
I think Mundo just runs at them here and doesn't really care.
Yeah, the cage does hit Nami there. One shot
You need
by
to
the
ult.
primordial
Yeah,
burst.
he ulted, okay.
Caitlyn is... Oh, she doesn't get the auto tackle.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, this game is very hard to play now. They're just... Wait, what is this path thing, Jinx?
Burn splash.
Yep. Los Agridos.
I think they can do anything they want here. Actually, they're just gonna
Yeah,
die
they
to
can.
Silas.
They're having a good time.
Yep. Okay, one shot Silas. Oh, there! He found the angle. Oh wait, no, that's Lux.
That's the Lux. It's a case of nobody los vetas.
What does that mean?
Don't stop the party.
Oh.
It's very much party time.
Oh,
Oh,
they
and the
didn't even get him.
shadow. Wait, no,
Can they
he's
get
dead.
Shen? Oh,
What? Where's
no, they
the
can't even
ult?
get Shen.
Oh no. He was gonna get binded, so I couldn't go for it. That's so sad. Very
Yeah.
unfortunate, really, not being able to get that one.
You know,
I
if she
actually-
got one of those as well, she gets jinxed and she goes in.
Yeah, it's very exciting times.
That could have been a
I just want to give a shout out to Twitch chat for because I kind of agree with that suggestion that I'm seeing. It's popping up here and there. I actually think that the Kindred AD carry here would have been the pick. It definitely was.
Kindred into Caitlyn.
Yeah, it's OP. Don't worry about it.
Bro,
Very
what are you
good.
smoking?
I wish I was smoking something. Go down. No, I'm kidding. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say that, to be honest with you, so we're going to ignore that one. But engage. It's big. Nice.
Get the crown.
They do get the
man.
crown. That's actually genuinely not a bad thing to play that cooldown. So I kind of want to see Silas take away that Maokai ult, try and look for engage, because I feel like doing Baron is the one way you can like lose the game here, unironically. Okay. Just nice CC.
Face X
Oh.
for the second time. He has
Goodbye.
caged an army. Yep.
Yeah.
Lands both spells there as well. So.
Yeah, they were not. Yep. A little bit
Oh.
early. There was no vision on it the whole time, so I guess they assumed that the other team was hitting it the whole time. That was not the case. It was stopped, mostly. Nice little turnaround, easy peasy, and it just feels like it's closing time, you know.
Yeah, I think Mundo's getting his little consolation prize.
Yeah.
It's his objective.
Don't worry.
anthem.
Once you get Spirit's
For
Visage,
50
the
gold.
game ends. I promise, Smile. Mundo's OP, Smile. Mundo Copium. Wait, Jinx went rapid fire went behind. That's.
Well, you know, she missed one auto attack last fight.
Yep,
Yeah.
she didn't get to live.
Yeah, every time I see that. I
Yeah,
love
she's-
watching
she-
that.
She do be missing her health bar. Mundo is fine.
I think this will be if they can end on this push. Which
Oh, they
definitely
can.
can.
I
Be
think
the
they
fastest
can.
game.
Yeah. Wait, Mundo needs to
I'll
ult
see.
though. Yeah, okay, fine. Maybe they can stall. Maybe they can stall. The health ones are actually getting a little bit low. If
Oh,
Silas...
Silas seems to live. Okay. that's
Yeah,
fine.
he does. I actually think that Mundo ults now and they just run in, and that's like the best thing you do. Because Flygo's going to base TP, and then it's hard. So you kind of need to go right now.
Relies on Caitlyn. Yeah, if she like doesn't flash Glacial Prism or something,
Maybe.
die because she's kind of frontlining. Frontline is low HP as well. So.
Wait, Mundo just does not want to ulti ever, by the way. Oh my god, this guy is a psycho. I respect it. But it's crazy. You just need to pop
Oh,
out now.
Flash Gale Force. She might have just entered the game. No, okay.
Nah, I think she's okay.
Oh, she could get a pentakill here.
I think it is a penta, yeah.
Do it. Triple kill. Quadra kill. Go dive them. Please dive them.
Yeah, you
Oh,
are
dive
doing.
them.
Oh,
Dive them.
the Winions
Oh.
is thrown.
Come on.
GG's.
9-0-12 on that game.
9-0-12.
Insider.
Sorry.
Popular.
Biffy and the Biffy.
Yeah.
You know what? We're just gonna say oof, and we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
It's oofing time.
Fair enough. That was Frost. Yeah, Frost lost. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Frost lost. Okay, so they're 1-1 today. Didn't look that good at all in game 2.
Game 2 was rough. Game 2 was real rough.
But I mean, they'll still be sitting comfortably in the standings at least. Pretty dead center, 2-2. I think. I'm just gonna
I
check.
feel like they would not be. I mean, I guess technically they would be. Technically, they're in first place in the standings.
Or because they played the most games.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Chilling.
Actually, no. Haven is in first. They got 9
Yeah.
points, 3 games played, so it's already higher. They're actually in 4th place right now, going off of some factors that I don't understand how they work. I guess it's back head to head. Actually, no, shouldn't they be in 3rd then? Because they beat. No, they lost to the Young Hip Hop Gangster Turtles. That's who they just lost to.
Mm.
I love that name so much. So yeah, they're currently in 4th place.
Does it stand for anything? If you just do the acronym YHGT? I don't think so. No.
I think it stands for Young Hip Hop Gangster Turtles. To be honest with you, that'd be my guess.
Okay.
You knew I was going to say it. Don't even pretend like you
Yeah,
didn't
I mean,
know.
come on.
Yeah, we will do.
Could have backed me up.
I could have backed you up. Yeah, true.
There's a lot of teams at 2 and 2 though. There's 3 teams at the moment which are 2 and 2, and then 2 more teams which have potential to go 2 and 2. So it's a very like close pack. Apart from Hentai Haven, who are 3 and 0, and they can extend their lead even further if they want to.
As always, Hentai Haven leading the way. Shout out to the boys.
We need to cast one of their games, so I can
Oh.
say make
Oh,
a
I'm
Hentai
looking-
Haven pun.
I'm looking forward to it. Don't you worry. There's one area I've got experienced. I'm sure it's.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. Okay, we need to end this one before I get in trouble. Like, this is.
Yeah, wrap it up before you get
I
cancelled.
just want to give a shout out to the VO crew. Thank you for having me again. I'm sure I'm not going to be allowed to come back, but I love you all. It's always fun. So thank you very much, and obviously shout out to Shade on Production for being slim. It's good. So, thank you very much, Big. We had a good time, but it's time for us to shoot from the hip and give them the slip. Later, boys.
See you.
Slow it down some, no split, clown bum. Your gold hit sound dumb. Hold it now, crown them. Where you found them at? Got them round town. Could've drowned in it, would've floated, bloated, voted, sugar coated, loaded, hip shooter. Draw for the poor, free coffee at the banks. Hit through the straw, none more for me, thanks. That blanks the roar, that dank sure stank lit. Sank past the pit for more hardcore prank spit. Crank it on blast, roll past Front Street. Blew the whole spot like some old ass with skunk meat. These kids is too fast, juiced off a junk tree. Who could get looser off a crunk or a funk beat?
Something is starting today. Where did it go? Why you want it to be? Where you know November has come and it's gone away. Something is starting today. Where did it go? Why you want it to be? Where you know November has come and it's gone away.
Bah, can you dig it like a spigot? My guess is yes you can, like can I kick it wicked? Lick a shot if you happy and you know it as you clap your hands to the thick snot of a poet flowing. Rope a pen and I'm in, cope hymen, dope a rhyming, more worth than the whole diamond acquired off the black market. A wiretapping couldn't target a jar spit, the rapid fire spark lit. Zit. A rapper bug zapper, and it don't matter after if there's a thug or dapper. Plug your trap or it's maximum exposure. The beast got family members asking them for closure. Send them a gun and tell them clean it. Then go get the nun who said her son didn't mean it. She wore a filled-in thong or billabong and said, nah, for real, I'm a gorilla John.